Winning starts in your mind before it happens in your life. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will follow the same path. A strong mind does not break under pressure. It stays calm, sees solutions, and moves with confidence even in the hardest moments. The difference between success and failure is not luck. It is the ability to think clearly, stay focused, and control your mind when everything feels impossible. Today we will talk about how to develop a mind that wins every time. We will explore simple steps to build mental strength, focus, and resilience. These habits can change how you think, decide, and act every single day. If you are ready to create a mind that never gives up and always finds a way to win, then let's dive in. Number 1. Train your thoughts to focus only on solutions. Most people are stuck, not because they're not capable, not because they don't want more, but because their mind is trapped in a loop of problems. They wake up, and the first thing they do is think about everything that's wrong. Bills, stress, what they don't like about their life. They walk through their day not thinking about what can be done, but about what's going wrong. That kind of mindset eats away at confidence. It makes life feel heavier than it is. And if you don't shift that, if you don't learn to train your thoughts to search for solutions instead of swimming in the problem, then life becomes a pattern of frustration, day after day, year after year. But it doesn't have to stay that way. There's a better way. You can train your mind to work for you. You can rewire your focus. And when you do, everything changes. The real power starts the moment you stop letting your thoughts circle around what's wrong and start pushing them toward what can be done about it. See, everyone faces problems. That's life. But what separates the people who win, the people who get results, the people who build something powerful from everyone else, is that they've trained themselves to look at the same problems and immediately move into solution mode. They don't waste time sitting in the problem. They ask different questions. They ask, how can I fix this? What can I do right now? Who can help me with this? That's the kind of thinking that moves things forward. You're either feeding your problems or feeding your solutions, and whichever one you feed will run your life. Every single day, you have thoughts that appear without your permission. They're automatic. Some are based on old memories. Some come from fear. Others from frustration. But the problem is, we think that just because the thought showed up, we have to believe it. That's not true. You are not your thoughts, but you are responsible for what you do with them. You don't need to obey every negative thought that crosses your mind. You don't need to sit in fear or stay in confusion. You can stop, you can pause, and you can say to yourself, this isn't helpful. I need to find what is helpful. That moment of awareness right there is power. That's when you shift. That's when you begin to take control. You'll notice people who live with a strong mind don't ignore problems. They just refuse to be trapped by them. They deal with them head on. They ask for help when they need it. They write down the issue. They brainstorm options. They try things. They get better at staying calm and thinking clearly. And they don't just try it once. They practice it over and over. They keep training themselves every day to spot the solution faster than they used to. That's what turns a mind into a winning one. Repetition, intent, consistency. Because the truth is, no one is born with a mind that automatically wins. It's built. You build it by choosing your focus, over and over, until the habit becomes stronger than the old one. Now, what usually happens is this. You get hit with a challenge, something unexpected, something frustrating, and you start thinking about how bad it is. You talk about it. You dwell on it. You replay it in your head 10 times. That's normal, but normal doesn't lead to winning. Here's the shift. Instead of talking about the problem again and again, talk about the next step. Even if it's small, even if it's just an idea. Say it out loud. All right, this happened. It's not what I wanted, but what can I do about it now? That one question can flip the entire emotional state of your day. It breaks the cycle. It moves you from feeling stuck to feeling empowered. and that shift is everything. Some people don't realize that their focus is their future. What you keep thinking about, you start to feel. And what you feel, you act on. So if you think only about the problem, you're going to feel defeated. And if you feel defeated, you're not going to take action. You're not going to get creative. You're not going to solve it. You're just going to live in it. But if you catch yourself and change the focus, even slightly, you start to feel possibility. You start to feel like something can be done. That's when action happens. That's when you move forward. Your thoughts have power, but only if you control where they go. You have to decide every day what kind of mind you want to wake up with. Do you want to let your mind drag you through more doubt and frustration, or do you want to train it to see what's possible and act on it? That's not some vague idea. That's a choice you make with every thought. You have to catch yourself. You have to say, hold on, that's not helpful thinking. And then you need to switch. You train your mind the way an athlete trains their body, with reps, with effort, with commitment. You don't get strong by accident, and you don't develop a winning mindset by hoping it shows up. You work at it. You sharpen it. You apply it. Here's the truth. Some people are addicted to talking about their problems. It gives them attention. It makes them feel heard, but it doesn't move them forward. What will move you forward is solutions. What will lift your spirit, your energy, your life, is the habit of asking, what can be done, over and over again. Not just when things are good, but especially when they're not. Especially when it's hard. That's the moment you train your thoughts. That's the moment you level up. If you're feeling stuck, it's not because there's no solution. It's because your mind is too focused on the wrong thing. And the good news is, you can change that today. You can write it down. You can ask better questions. You can learn from people who've solved it before. You can stop complaining and start creating. That kind of mind doesn't come from wishing. It comes from working on it every single day. The world doesn't need more people who talk about how hard things are. The world needs more people who know how to think through hard things and come out stronger. Be that person. Every morning, remind yourself that your thoughts are your choice. The moment you open your eyes, say to yourself, today I focus on solutions. Today I control where my energy goes. Today I train my mind to think like a winner. That's how you start. That's how you lead yourself. That's how you build a mind that wins. Not someday, but today. Every single day. Because that's how winning is done. Not in big bursts, but in small, repeated choices to think better, to focus better, and to act on the solution. Again, and again, and again. Number 2, start each day by visualizing your biggest goals. Most people wake up and go straight into stress. Their feet hit the floor, and their mind is already filled with things they don't want to do. The pressure of work, bills, routines, and unfinished tasks cloud their first thoughts. They don't stop to think about why they're doing any of it. They don't give their mind a target, so they end up living the day in reaction mode, just surviving. That's why so many people feel stuck, not because they don't have goals, but because they don't keep them front and center. They don't start their day with purpose. They don't remind themselves of what they're working toward. And when you forget your goals, you forget your power. Your mind is like a GPS. It needs a clear destination. Without that, it will keep circling around the same place, never making progress. That's why the way you start your day matters more than you think. When you begin your day by visualizing your biggest goals, you give your mind direction. You give your energy a purpose. You're not just drifting through the day, you're moving with clarity. You're focused. You're locked in. You know where you're headed. That kind of mindset doesn't just change your mood, it changes your results. Visualization is not about daydreaming. It's not fantasy. It's mental preparation. It's seeing the future you want to build so clearly that your body and mind begin to move toward it. Athletes use it. Leaders use it. Performers use it. Why? Because the mind works in images. When you see something in your mind over and over, your brain starts to believe it's possible. It starts building the emotional strength and confidence you need to achieve it. But you've got to do it daily, not once, not randomly, but every morning before the distractions kick in. When you sit quietly in the morning and bring your biggest goals into your mind, you remind yourself of what matters most. You remember why you're doing the hard things. You think about the business you want to build, the life you want to live, the person you want to become. You see it clearly, the sounds, the feelings, the experience, and something shifts inside you. You stop dreading the day and start owning it, because now your mind is connected to something bigger than just getting through it. You've tapped into vision, and vision drives everything. It's easy to lose focus when you don't train your mind to stay locked on the outcome. Distractions are everywhere. Doubts are loud. But when you take time to mentally see your goal, not just write it down once a year, but actually see it, you give yourself fuel. You turn your goals from ideas into intentions. You don't have to know every step yet. You don't have to figure everything out this morning. But what you do have to do is see it, believe it, and begin with that vision at the front of your thoughts. This practice doesn't require hours. It doesn't require perfect silence or a special chair. You just need a few minutes. Sit down, close your eyes, breathe, and see it. See the end result. See yourself crossing the finish line. See yourself strong, clear, and successful. Imagine the emotions. Imagine the setting. Imagine the reward of the work. Let it sink in. That image becomes your anchor. So when the day throws problems your way, and it will, your mind is already centered. You won't be easily shaken because you already know where you're headed. Most people never take this time. They go straight from bed to chaos, checking their phone, rushing through routines, reacting to other people's agendas. They let the world shape their focus. And over time, they lose sight of what they really wanted. That's how dreams fade. Not in one big moment, but in thousands of days that started without vision. You have to guard your focus. You have to take back your mornings. And it starts with choosing to visualize your biggest goals. Before the noise, before the work, before anything else. You can't expect to feel motivated if you never remind yourself why you started. Motivation isn't something that just shows up. It's something you create, and it begins the moment you give your attention to something meaningful. Your goal might feel far away right now. You might not know how it's all going to come together, but that's okay. You don't need all the answers yet. What you need is to see it clearly every single day until it becomes part of who you are. That repetition, that focus, that's what builds belief. Your brain is always looking for patterns. It's always trying to make sense of what's important. So when you visualize your goals daily, your brain starts to look for ways to make it happen. It starts filtering out distractions. It starts paying attention to the right opportunities. It starts building confidence. That's how transformation begins, not just in action, but in mental alignment. And once your mind is aligned, the action gets easier. You stop procrastinating. You stop second-guessing. You move forward because your thoughts are now working with you, not against you. There's something powerful about deciding to begin your day with intention. It tells the world that your life is not random, that you are not just a passenger, that you are steering this ship, that you have something you're building, something you're proud of, something that lights you up. That mindset attracts strength. It attracts momentum. It makes you better in every part of your life, in how you speak, how you walk, how you handle stress. You're not reacting. You're responding from a place of vision. Think about what kind of energy you carry when your goals are fresh in your mind. You speak differently. You carry yourself with purpose. You're not easily distracted by drama or nonsense. Why? Because your mind is full of something meaningful. And when your mind is full of purpose, there's no room for excuses. That's why the morning matters. That's why the first few minutes of your day can set the tone for everything that follows. You don't need to wait for motivation. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need a decision. You need to decide that every morning, before the day takes over, you will take 5 minutes for your future. 5 minutes to sit in stillness and lock in on the goal. 5 minutes to picture yourself winning. 5 minutes to feel it. Not just think it, feel it. That's when the mind shifts. That's when your day starts with power instead of pressure. This is how champions are made. This is how leaders stay focused. This is how people create lives they're proud of, not by accident but by design. They visualize the life they want before they go out and live it. They start their day with clarity. They remind themselves what they're building. And then they carry that vision into everything they do. That's the kind of mind that doesn't get knocked around by the world. That's the kind of mind that wins, daily, intentionally, consistently. Number 3, replace every negative thought with a powerful belief. Most people don't realize how destructive one negative thought can be. It sneaks in quietly, almost without warning. You wake up and think, I'm not ready for this day. You look in the mirror and think, I'm not good enough. You start a project and whisper to yourself, I don't think I can pull this off. That thought might seem small, harmless even, but it starts a chain reaction. It shapes your mood. It influences your choices. It changes how you speak. And if you let it stay, it becomes your story. A story that holds you back. A story that keeps you stuck. That's how most people live, silently carrying thoughts that tell them they're not enough. But here's the truth. Your mind listens to everything you say to it. And the thoughts you allow, whether helpful or harmful, will take root and grow. The key isn't to pretend negative thoughts don't show up. They will. They always do. The key is to replace them immediately and intentionally with something stronger. You've got to catch that voice in your head and say, no, that's not how I think anymore. Then you shift. You replace it. You speak something new, something powerful, something that pulls you forward instead of holding you back. Most people don't challenge their thoughts. They think that whatever shows up in their head must be true. That's not how it works. Not every thought deserves your belief. Not every voice deserves your attention. Some thoughts come from fear. Some come from past pain. Some were handed to you by someone else who gave up on themselves. And if you don't stop and question them, they become part of your identity. They sink into your self-image. And before long, you're living based on thoughts that were never even yours to begin with. You want to build a strong, winning mind. Start replacing. Every time you hear yourself think, I can't, you say, I'm figuring it out. When you think, I'm not enough, replace it with, I'm growing every day. When the thought says, I always mess this up, answer it with, I've learned from before, and this time, I'm better prepared. This isn't just positive thinking. This is retraining your inner dialogue. It's building a belief system that works for you, not against you. And it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your future. This takes discipline. You won't get it right every time. You'll catch yourself slipping into old thought patterns. But each time you replace one of those thoughts, you take back control. You reinforce the new identity you're building. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to show up differently. Your body responds. Your energy shifts. Because when your thoughts change, your life follows. You've got to stop giving energy to thoughts that don't serve you. You can't keep feeding beliefs that drain your confidence and expect to feel strong. It doesn't work like that. It helps to recognize where these negative thoughts usually come from. They often show up when you're tired, uncertain, or stressed. That's when your mind starts reaching for old fears. So be ready. Expect it. Don't let it catch you off guard. Have your powerful beliefs ready, like armor. If the thought says, I've failed too many times, you say, every failure taught me something I needed. If it says, no one believes in me, you say, I believe in myself. And that's enough to start. You don't argue with the thought. You don't analyze it to death. You just cut it off and replace it. Fast, strong, clear. This practice, over time, builds resilience, because life will test you, people will doubt you, circumstances will challenge you. But the one thing you always control is what you say to yourself in those moments. And if your beliefs are strong, if they've been built with intention, nothing can shake you for long. That's how winners think. They don't just perform well when things are easy. They win because they've trained their minds to stay solid when things get tough. Start writing down your most common negative thoughts, the ones that pop up often, the ones that have lived in your mind for years. Then write a powerful belief to replace each one. Keep that list where you can see it. Review it every morning. Say it out loud. Say it with conviction. Make it part of your daily routine. This is how you change from the inside out, not by waiting for your circumstances to improve, but by building the kind of mindset that can handle anything. You can't afford to think in a way that weakens you. Life is too short. Your dreams are too important. Your goals require belief, energy, and strength. So every time a thought shows up that tells you you're not enough, not smart enough, not ready, replace it immediately. Don't let it stay. Don't entertain it. Don't give it the luxury of your focus. You are not your past. You are not your doubts. You are the person who decides what you think next. And that decision shapes your future. You'll notice that once you begin replacing negative thoughts consistently, your emotional state improves. You don't feel as drained. You don't feel as stuck. You start carrying yourself with more confidence. You start making decisions faster. You stop second-guessing yourself, because now your inner voice is working with you, not against you. That's a massive shift. That's how you build the kind of mind that wins, even before the results show up. This is what separates people who stay stuck from those who grow. They don't allow their mind to be a playground for negativity. They take charge. They direct their focus. They feed their mind beliefs that lift them, strengthen them, sharpen them. And they do it every day, not just when it's easy. That's how transformation happens, not in one big moment, but in thousands of small decisions to think differently, to believe differently, to act from strength instead of fear. You don't have to wait until you feel confident to start believing stronger thoughts. Start now. Believe before it's obvious. Speak powerfully, even when your emotions haven't caught up yet, because your words create momentum, your thoughts build your state, and your state determines your action. Don't wait. Replace the doubt. Replace the fear. Replace the old story. That's how you build a mind that can take on anything, one thought at a time, one belief at a time, one day at a time. Number 4, repeat winning affirmations with emotion every morning. Most people start their day without any real encouragement. They wake up, rush through the motions, and the first words they say often come from stress or worry. There's no energy behind their thoughts, no spark, no passion. That's a missed opportunity. The moment you open your eyes is the most powerful time to set the tone for your entire day. When you repeat winning affirmations, not just quietly or casually, but with genuine feeling and belief, you give your mind a command. You send a message loud and clear: this day belongs to me. This day is a chance to win. People underestimate the power of speaking words to themselves. Yet words are energy. They carry weight. When spoken with emotion, they bypass your conscious doubt and hit deeper levels of your mind. If you say, "I am capable," but your voice is weak and your heart isn't in it, it won't do much. But when you say it with conviction, when you feel it in your chest, your brain starts to believe it. Your nervous system reacts. Your muscles tense up with readiness. Your whole body says, "Okay, we're ready for this." That's the difference between just saying words and making them a force in your life. Affirmations aren't magic, and they don't erase challenges. They don't guarantee instant success, but they prepare your mind to face challenges with confidence. When you speak affirmations with emotion, you build a mental shield against doubt and fear. You create a rhythm of strength that echoes throughout your day. You're not just hoping for a good day, you're commanding one. You're not waiting for motivation to find you, you're creating it inside yourself. It's easy to think that affirmations are cheesy or that they don't work. That's usually because people try them once or twice without commitment or feeling. They read words off a list and then forget about it. But here's the reality. Your brain doesn't respond to how many times you say something. It responds to how deeply you feel it. The emotion behind your words is what turns them from empty sounds into real tools of change. If you don't believe the words yet, that's okay. The key is to act as if you believe them, with energy, with passion, and over time, belief will catch up. The most effective affirmations speak to your strengths, your goals, and the identity you want to build. They should be personal, specific, and positive. Instead of saying, "I won't fail," say, "I am prepared and ready to succeed." Instead of, "I hope this works out," say, "I am capable of handling whatever comes my way." The difference might seem small, but it changes the way your mind processes the information. Positive affirmations with emotion plant seeds of certainty and courage. They create an inner voice that champions you rather than criticizes you. Creating a morning routine that includes affirmations is not about adding pressure. It's about giving yourself a gift. Take time every morning, 5 minutes is enough, to stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say your affirmations out loud. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Connect to the meaning of the words. Let them sink deep. Feel the power in your voice. Feel the strength in your posture. This is how you build momentum from the start. You show yourself that you matter, that your dreams matter, that your mindset matters. This simple act can change how you carry yourself the rest of the day. You'll notice a difference in how you handle problems, how you talk to yourself in difficult moments, how quickly you recover from setbacks. The emotional charge behind your affirmations creates a foundation of resilience. It's like charging your battery before you go out into the world. Without it, you're running low from the start. With it, you have fuel to keep pushing. You might feel awkward at first. That's normal. Changing how you speak to yourself doesn't happen overnight. But don't let discomfort stop you. The discomfort is a sign of growth. Keep going. Each day, your affirmations will become more natural. Your voice will grow stronger. Your belief will deepen. And that confidence will show up in everything you do, in your decisions, your actions, your interactions. When you face a challenge or fear during the day, remember those words you spoke in the morning. Let them remind you of who you are and what you stand for. Use the energy you created to keep moving forward. That mental connection to your morning affirmations will act as a lifeline when things get tough. You've already told yourself you're capable. Now you just have to live up to that truth. Many successful people credit their daily affirmations for helping them stay on track. It's not a secret weapon or some complicated trick. It's a practice of speaking power into their own lives. They don't wait for external validation. They generate confidence from within. You can do the same. You can create your own set of winning affirmations that speak to your goals and strengths, and use them every morning to prime your mind for success. Affirmations done without emotion are like empty promises, but when spoken with feeling, they become commitments to yourself and your future. They're a daily reminder that you're the one who controls your mind. You're the one who decides what you believe. And you're the one who shapes your life by the words you choose to say. This practice builds a mind that wins because it refuses to be defeated by doubt or fear. To build a winning mind, make it a non-negotiable habit to repeat your affirmations with full emotion each morning. No distractions, no rushing, just you, your voice, and your belief. That's how you build mental strength. That's how you prepare yourself to win. Day after day. Because the mind that wins every time isn't just thinking positive thoughts, it's feeling them deeply and owning them completely. Number 5. Study winners and mimic their mindset daily. Many people wonder what separates winners from the rest. They see the success, the confidence, and the results, but they don't realize that behind all of it is a mindset, one that's learned, practiced, and lived every single day. The difference isn't luck or talent. It's what winners think, believe, and how they act mentally. If you want to develop a mind that wins every time, you have to start by studying those who have already won. You need to understand their thinking patterns, their habits, their attitudes, and then intentionally imitate those qualities in your own life. Winning minds are not born, they are made by deliberate choices to adopt the mindset of success. The first step in this process is to get close to success stories. This doesn't just mean reading about famous people, it means digging deep into the mindset they had to develop to get where they are. Winners face struggles, doubts, and failures just like everyone else. The difference is in how they respond. They view challenges as opportunities to learn, not reasons to quit. They hold beliefs that push them forward, not hold them back. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they take action with what they have. When you study winners closely, you start to see these traits clearly, and you realize that these qualities can be copied, practiced, and owned by anyone who decides to commit. Many times, people focus only on the outcome, wealth, fame, recognition, but the real power lies in the mindset behind those results. You have to dig past the surface. Find interviews, books, speeches, or even just casual conversations that reveal how winners think. What's their attitude toward failure? How do they handle criticism? What do they tell themselves when no one is watching? When you understand these things, you're not just inspired, you're equipped. You get a roadmap for thinking differently, and that's exactly what it takes to build a mind that wins consistently. Imitation is one of the fastest ways to grow. Children learn language by copying adults. Athletes improve by mimicking champions. The same principle applies to mindset. When you consciously choose to mirror the thought patterns and behaviors of winners, your brain begins to rewire itself. You start to act with more confidence. You become more resilient. You begin to expect success instead of fearing failure. This doesn't mean pretending to be someone else or copying everything blindly. It means adopting the mindset principles that align with your goals and values, then making them your own through repetition and belief. You might feel unsure about whether you can really think like a winner. That's natural. Changing your mental habits takes effort and patience. But when you see how winners consistently respond to setbacks, keep pushing through obstacles, and maintain focus on their goals, it becomes clear that these are habits anyone can build. The key is consistency. Studying winners daily, whether through reading, listening to podcasts, or observing people around you, gives your mind constant exposure to these powerful ways of thinking. Over time, your brain starts to adopt those thought patterns naturally, almost like muscle memory. There is also tremendous value in surrounding yourself with winners. This means connecting with people who are on a similar path or have already achieved what you want to achieve. Winning minds tend to attract other winning minds. They hold each other accountable, share ideas, and inspire growth. If you spend time with people who doubt, complain, or settle for less, your mind will pick up those same habits. But if you spend time with people who are driven, optimistic, and focused, your mind will rise to that level. Taking this a step further, winners don't just passively absorb mindset ideas, they actively apply them. When you study a winning mindset, you have to practice those thoughts and actions in your daily life. If winners say they focus on solutions instead of problems, then you need to catch yourself when you start dwelling on difficulties and shift your focus. If winners talk about embracing failure as feedback, then you need to adjust how you view mistakes. Imitation becomes meaningful only when it leads to action. The power of studying winners is unlocked when you consistently apply those lessons to your own journey. There's a common misconception that winners are born with something special, that their mindset is a secret you can't access. But the truth is, winning minds are built by habits, by daily decisions to think differently, by refusing to accept excuses, by keeping eyes on the goal even when the path gets hard. And all of this becomes possible when you choose to study the winner's understanding not just what they do, but how they think, how they feel, and how they keep moving forward no matter what. One practical way to do this is to create a daily ritual of learning from winners. Set aside time every day to read a chapter of a book written by someone who has achieved what you want. Listen to interviews or speeches that reveal their mindset. Take notes on their attitudes, values, and strategies. Then, spend time reflecting on how you can integrate those thoughts into your own mental habits. The brain learns best when it's both fed information and challenged to act on it. So don't just consume content, use it as a training ground for your own mind. When you mimic winning mindsets, you build more than just confidence. You build clarity and direction. Winners don't drift through life hoping for the best. They have a clear sense of purpose and unshakable belief in their ability to succeed. This clarity comes from understanding their values, goals, and mental habits. When you study and adopt those same mental habits, your thoughts begin to organize around what really matters. Your focus sharpens, your energy aligns. You move with intention instead of reacting randomly. Finally, the mind that wins every time is not fragile. When obstacles appear, it's this foundation that keeps you steady. Studying winners daily is a commitment to yourself, a decision to keep growing, adapting, and refusing to settle. It's a choice to train your mind to win over and over, no matter the challenge. That's how a winning mind is made, by learning from those who have already walked the path, then making their mindset your own. Number 6. Eliminate all self-doubt through daily self-talk. There's a quiet enemy inside many minds that quietly chips away at potential self-doubt. It's a feeling that sneaks in without warning, casting shadows on what you can accomplish, whispering lies that you're not enough, not ready, or not capable. Self-doubt paralyzes action, saps energy, and creates hesitation when clarity and confidence are desperately needed. The harsh truth is, everyone faces this inner critic, no matter how successful they seem on the outside. But the difference between those who win and those who don't lies in how they handle this doubt. Eliminating self-doubt is not about pretending it doesn't exist or ignoring it. It's about confronting it head-on every single day and using powerful self-talk to silence it before it takes control. Self-talk is the conversation you have inside your mind, the words you say to yourself when no one else is listening. This dialogue shapes your beliefs about yourself and your abilities. If your self-talk is filled with hesitation, criticism, and fear, your mind will naturally create obstacles. It's like feeding a fire with dry leaves. The flames grow bigger and stronger. On the other hand, if your self-talk is intentional, supportive, and focused on your strengths and potential, it puts out that fire and builds a calm, steady confidence. The key is to catch negative thoughts early and replace them with words that empower rather than weaken. Eliminating self-doubt isn't a one-time fix. It requires daily attention. Every morning and every night, spend time talking to yourself with purpose. Remind yourself of your abilities, your progress, and your reasons for pushing forward. Speak to yourself with kindness and firmness, the way a coach encourages their athlete. Acknowledge the doubts, but refuse to accept them as facts. Instead, answer them with truth about your capabilities, your resilience, and your determination. When self-doubt arises during the day, pause and listen to what your mind is saying. Don't dismiss it, but don't accept it either. Challenge it with honest self-talk that focuses on what you can do, what you have done, and what you will do next. Many people fail to realize how much their internal conversations affect their mood, motivation, and actions. Those moments of hesitation, second-guessing, or fear often stem from repeated negative self-talk patterns that have been playing in the background for years. Changing this pattern is like changing the channel on a radio station that's been stuck on static. At first, you might hear echoes of doubt, but as you strengthen your new voice of encouragement, the static fades. It takes consistent practice. It takes deliberate effort to keep speaking words that build you up rather than tear you down. Self-doubt often hides behind what-if questions and imagined scenarios. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? These questions trap you in fear and keep you stuck in place. When self-talk turns into a dialogue of what if, you must interrupt it with a different question. What can I learn from this? Or, what step can I take right now? Redirecting your thoughts like this forces your mind to move from fear to action. This shift is essential to eliminating doubt because doubt thrives in uncertainty and inaction. Action breaks the cycle. Another important part of eliminating self-doubt through self-talk is recognizing your achievements. Often, doubt comes from focusing too much on what's missing or what's wrong. To counter that, intentionally remind yourself of your wins, no matter how small. Speak out loud about progress you've made, challenges you've overcome, and strengths you've demonstrated. This positive reinforcement rewires your brain to focus on success rather than failure. It also reminds you that you have a history of winning moments, which builds trust in your own ability to handle what's ahead. When you consistently engage in supportive self-talk, you begin to notice changes in how you face challenges. The fear that once gripped your mind starts to loosen. You move through difficulties with more calm and clarity because you have trained your brain to believe in your strength. This shift creates momentum. Confidence grows. The voice of self-doubt becomes quieter, overshadowed by the louder, more powerful voice of self-belief. You start to see yourself as someone who can overcome obstacles, someone who has control over their mindset and their future. It's important to be patient with yourself during this process. Eliminating self-doubt doesn't mean never feeling it again. It means learning to manage it effectively so it doesn't control your decisions. The mental habit of daily self-talk creates a foundation that supports you even in moments of uncertainty. When doubt comes back, and it will, you will have practiced ways to respond rather than react. Your self-talk becomes a tool, not just a habit. It becomes the way you choose to think and speak about yourself in every situation. Some people avoid self-talk because they feel awkward or don't know what to say. That's understandable, but there is no perfect script. Your self-talk can be simple and genuine. It can be as straightforward as saying, "I am prepared," "I am improving every day," or "I can handle this." The power comes from consistency and emotion. Speak these words with feeling. Let your voice carry confidence. Allow your mind to accept these statements as truths that guide your actions. Taking this practice seriously means you guard your mind against outside influences that feed doubt. The opinions of others can fuel uncertainty if you let them. Daily self-talk builds resilience by reminding you that your worth and potential are not defined by outside voices. You become your own strongest supporter. That internal support is what keeps winners moving forward, even when the path is tough and the future looks unclear. In time, daily self-talk to eliminate self-doubt rewires the brain's response to challenges. It creates new neural pathways that favor confidence over fear, courage over hesitation. This rewiring makes it easier to face new opportunities with a mindset ready to succeed. The mind becomes a place where self-doubt is simply not welcome, replaced by self-trust, belief, and a calm assurance that no matter what happens, you have what it takes to win. The mind that wins every time doesn't ignore self-doubt. It addresses it with purposeful daily self-talk that turns uncertainty into strength. This practice isn't complicated, but it requires commitment. When you commit to talking to yourself with honesty and encouragement each day, you train your mind to believe in your own power. You stop letting doubt control your story, and instead you write a story of confidence, action, and consistent progress. Number 7. Set small wins to build unstoppable confidence daily. Many people spend so much time looking at the mountain they need to climb, the big goal that seems miles away, that they forget to focus on the small steps that will actually get them there. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, lost, or stuck when you think success means one giant leap. The truth is, confidence doesn't come from suddenly achieving something huge. It's built, bit by bit, from small wins that prove to yourself every day that you are capable, that you can make progress, and that you are moving forward no matter what. Without these small wins, confidence remains fragile and fleeting. It's like trying to build a house without laying a solid foundation. To develop a mind that wins every time, it's essential to set small, manageable goals daily that create unstoppable momentum and a sense of accomplishment. Too often, people wait for motivation to strike or a perfect moment before taking action. That's a trap. Motivation is fleeting, the right moment is rare. The power lies in deliberately choosing to achieve something small every single day. These small wins are the building blocks of belief in yourself. When you start your day by identifying a few achievable tasks, no matter how minor they may seem, and then complete them, you create a pattern of success. This pattern trains your brain to expect results, and each result sends a signal that you are winning. The feeling of progress is addictive, and it fuels the drive to keep going. When small wins become a habit, they shift your entire mindset. Instead of focusing on what's missing or what's difficult, your attention turns to what you have done and what you can do next. This creates a positive loop of confidence and action. You begin to realize that your capabilities are greater than you thought, and your challenges less intimidating. The power of small wins is not just in what you accomplish, but in how they change your internal narrative. They turn self-doubt into self-assurance, fear into courage, and hesitation into decisive movement. The key to using small wins effectively is to break down larger goals into parts so simple that it's impossible to avoid completing them. If your goal is to write a book, a small win might be writing one paragraph or even just organizing your notes. If your goal is to get in shape, it could be doing 10 push-ups or taking a short walk. These actions may seem insignificant alone, but together they create a chain of success. Over time, these small victories add up to massive progress, and more importantly, they build a foundation of confidence that no setback can easily shake. It's important to celebrate these small wins too. Recognition of progress triggers a release of positive chemicals in the brain, like dopamine, which makes you feel good and want to repeat the behavior. This celebration doesn't have to be grand, just acknowledging your success, saying, "I did that," or writing it down can deepen the impact. By marking these moments, you train your mind to value progress and create a daily feedback loop that strengthens your winning mindset. You're proving to yourself that effort produces results and that your actions matter. Some people resist setting small goals because they fear it's not enough, or they worry it won't move them quickly toward their big dreams. That thinking undermines success. The truth is progress is progress. Small wins create confidence and competence, which together lead to bigger wins. Without this daily practice, confidence remains a distant hope instead of a powerful force driving your choices. The compound effect of small wins is unstoppable. It turns ordinary days into stepping stones toward extraordinary achievements. Small wins also help combat the fear of failure. When your focus is on manageable tasks, the risk feels lower and your willingness to act increases. Each completed task provides proof that you can face challenges and come out stronger. This proof chips away at the paralyzing fear that keeps many people stuck. It builds resilience because every success, no matter how small, is evidence that you can trust yourself to handle what comes next. This trust is the backbone of a winning mindset. The process of setting small wins also sharpens your focus. When you know what tiny action you can take next, your mind is less likely to wander or get caught up in distractions. You develop a clear sense of direction each day, and this clarity reduces anxiety. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of your goals, you feel grounded in what you can control right now. This grounded feeling gives you energy and motivation to keep going, even when things get tough. To make this work, plan your day around these small wins. Before you start your work, write down 2 or 3 simple goals you can achieve by the end of the day. Make sure they are specific and doable. When you finish each one, take a moment to acknowledge it fully. Notice how it feels to cross something off your list. This simple habit builds momentum and reshapes how you see your abilities. It creates a rhythm of success that your mind craves, turning daily effort into a winning pattern. Confidence that comes from small wins is not fragile or dependent on luck or external approval. It's solid because it's based on proof you've created yourself. You learn to trust your decisions, your effort, and your results. This kind of confidence makes you fearless in the face of setbacks because you know you have built a track record of success. You have experience winning, and that experience is a powerful shield against doubt and negativity. When small wins become a natural part of your daily life, your mindset shifts from hoping for success to expecting it. You move with certainty and purpose because you have trained your brain to focus on progress and results. This shift is what creates a mind that wins every time, not because you never fail, but because you keep winning the battle inside your mind to keep moving forward. Every small win adds strength to your foundation, and over time, this foundation supports the achievement of your biggest goals. Don't underestimate the power of small wins. They may seem simple, but they carry the force that builds unstoppable confidence. They create a pattern of success that propels you forward and breaks down the barriers of fear and doubt. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't is often found in this daily practice. The mind that wins every time is trained to see opportunity in every small step, to celebrate progress, and to build confidence that nothing can shake. This practice is not just a strategy, it's a way of living that turns effort into achievement and dreams into reality. Number 8. Never react emotionally, always respond with strategy. There's a simple truth about human nature that most people ignore until it costs them dearly. Reacting out of emotion almost always leads to mistakes. It feels natural, even unavoidable, to respond quickly when something upsets you, frightens you, or angers you. But in those moments, the mind is clouded by feelings, and decisions made on impulse rarely bring the results you want. If the goal is to develop a mind that wins every time, the challenge is to learn how not to react emotionally, but to respond with calm, clear strategy. It's about winning the moment inside your mind before you take any action in the world. People often confuse reaction with response. Reaction is fast, automatic, and driven by what you feel. Response is slower, deliberate, and guided by what you think. When someone cuts you off in traffic or criticizes your work, the natural reaction is to snap back or stew in anger. But this reaction rarely changes the situation for the better. It usually makes things worse, leaving you frustrated, regretting what you said or did. Responding strategically, on the other hand, means taking a step back, calming your mind, and choosing how to act based on what will serve your long-term goals. This pause between stimulus and action is the moment where winners are made. They don't let emotion hijack their decisions. They choose their moves with intention. The reason this is so hard for most people is because emotions are immediate and powerful. Anger, fear, frustration, and disappointment hit like a wave and cloud your judgment. But emotions are not the enemy. They are signals that need to be understood and managed, not ignored or suppressed. The key is not to allow emotions to dictate your actions. Instead, acknowledge what you feel, take a breath, and then decide the best way forward based on logic and purpose. This practice builds emotional intelligence, which is one of the greatest assets a winning mind can have. When you respond with strategy, you don't just avoid unnecessary conflicts or mistakes. You also create opportunities. Think about a time when you stayed calm in a difficult conversation or stressful situation. Chances are your clear mind allowed you to listen better, understand what was really happening, and find a solution others missed. That kind of presence and composure makes you a leader, someone people trust, because they know you handle pressure without losing control. This isn't luck or talent. It's a skill that comes from practice and a commitment to mastering your own mind. Learning to respond strategically means training yourself to slow down, even if only for a moment. It requires creating a mental habit of asking, what is the smartest thing to do right now, rather than reacting with what feels urgent. This question shifts your focus from emotional impulse to calculated action. It also gives your brain time to assess the situation, gather information, and consider consequences. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to be naturally more thoughtful and less reactive, turning you into someone who handles challenges with confidence and wisdom. It's important to remember that responding strategically doesn't mean being cold or detached. It means being aware of your emotions but choosing not to be controlled by them. You can feel anger, sadness, or anxiety deeply, yet still decide how to act in a way that moves you closer to your goals. This balance between feeling and thinking is what creates strength. People who master it don't avoid emotions. They use them as guides without letting them push buttons that derail their progress. The practice of responding with strategy also protects your energy. Emotional reactions drain you because they pull you into conflict and stress, often over things that don't matter in the long run. When you respond with strategy, you conserve energy for what counts, taking actions that build your future, maintain your peace, and grow your influence. This energy management is a subtle but powerful advantage that separates winners from those who get stuck in cycles of frustration and regret. Building this skill takes intentional effort. It can start with small steps like pausing for a few seconds when you feel triggered, breathing deeply to calm your nervous system, or reminding yourself of your bigger goals before responding. Journaling about your emotional reactions can also help you identify patterns and triggers so you know where to focus your mental training. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to respond strategically, even in high-pressure moments. Eventually, it becomes second nature. Responding with strategy changes how others see you too. People are drawn to those who remain steady in crisis because it creates a sense of safety and reliability. Your reputation as someone who thinks before acting earns respect and opens doors to opportunities that emotional reactions would close. This kind of trust is priceless in personal relationships, professional settings, and every area of life. It shows strength, maturity, and the ability to lead yourself and others through uncertainty. In a world filled with distractions and provocations designed to trigger emotional responses, mastering this mindset is a form of self-defense. It shields you from impulsive decisions, regretful words, and wasted energy. Instead, it arms you with clarity, control, and purpose. This makes your mind a powerful tool that works for you every time, helping you win in moments where others lose control. This approach also helps in decision-making. When your mind isn't clouded by immediate emotion, you make clearer choices that align with your values and long-term vision. You see the consequences more clearly and weigh your options better. This kind of thinking produces results that last and builds momentum over time because every decision is made with wisdom rather than desperation. Understanding that emotions are signals but not commands frees you to live more intentionally. You get to decide what to accept, what to challenge, and how to move forward. This control over your responses creates confidence that can't be shaken by external circumstances. It builds resilience because no matter what happens around you, your mind remains steady and focused on what matters most. Every successful person knows that how you respond matters more than what happens to you. Life will always throw challenges your way, but the winners are those who keep their minds clear and their actions deliberate. This ability to respond strategically separates the winners from the overwhelmed, the calm from the reactive, and the leaders from the followers. It's the foundation of a mind that wins every time. In practical terms, building this skill improves every area of your life. Your relationships become healthier because you communicate better. Your work improves because you handle stress without losing productivity. Your peace of mind grows because you're not held hostage by sudden emotions. This creates a cycle of success that feeds itself, making your mind stronger with every challenge you meet calmly and strategically. The process requires patience and commitment, but the results are worth every effort. The mind trained to respond instead of react becomes your greatest asset. It gives you the power to choose your path clearly, act decisively, and win consistently. This is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every moment you choose strategy over emotion, you strengthen the habit, and the mind that wins every time grows stronger inside you. Number 9. Read one chapter of a mindset book daily. The reality is this. Most people struggle because their minds are filled with clutter, confusion, and old, worn-out ways of thinking that no longer serve them. Change doesn't come from wishing or hoping. It comes from feeding your mind with new ideas, better habits, and fresh perspectives. Reading just one chapter of a mindset book each day can create a powerful ripple effect that transforms your thinking and shapes the way you approach life. It's not about how much you read, but about reading consistently and with intention. This small daily step acts like a mental workout, strengthening your mind to win every time by giving it fuel to think bigger, smarter, and clearer. Imagine starting each day not just with routine tasks, but with a deliberate act to feed your mind something that challenges your old beliefs and encourages growth. That one chapter, chosen carefully, introduces concepts that teach patience, persistence, discipline, and resilience. When you absorb these lessons day after day, your thinking evolves. You begin to see problems differently, opportunities where others see obstacles, and solutions where others feel stuck. This steady intake of wisdom is what builds a winning mindset. It's the secret weapon of successful people: constant learning and mental sharpening. The challenge for most is that life feels busy and reading can feel like a luxury or an afterthought. But this is where discipline turns into results. Committing to just one chapter daily removes the overwhelm of trying to consume too much at once. It fits into any schedule, even on the busiest days. More importantly, it creates a rhythm that the mind recognizes and starts to crave. This rhythm builds momentum and helps you stay connected to your goals, because each chapter reminds you why you are working so hard and what kind of person you must become to win consistently. Mindset books often provide stories, strategies, and perspectives that you might never encounter otherwise. They open your mind to new ways of thinking about failure, success, effort, and setbacks. This kind of learning rewires your brain. The more you expose yourself to positive, growth-oriented ideas, the more your automatic thoughts begin to change. Where once you might have thought, "I can't," you start thinking, "How can I?" This shift in language changes everything. It pushes you from being a passive observer of life to an active creator of your future. Reading a chapter each day also improves your focus and concentration. It trains your brain to stay engaged with complex ideas and think critically about your own habits and beliefs. This mental discipline spills over into other areas, helping you make better decisions under pressure and solve problems more creatively. It's like a workout for your brain that makes it sharper and more resilient, ready to handle whatever life throws your way. Without this daily mental exercise, your mind can get lazy, stuck in old patterns that limit your potential. There's also a powerful emotional benefit in reading mindset books. Many chapters are filled with real-life examples of people who faced tough circumstances but pushed through by changing how they thought about themselves and their challenges. These stories inspire and remind you that you're not alone in struggle and that success is possible when you keep your mind open and your spirit strong. Feeling connected to these examples creates hope and motivation, two key ingredients for a mind that wins every time. Consistency in reading builds habits beyond just knowledge. It forms identity. When you commit to learning daily, you start to see yourself as a person who grows, who is capable of change, and who takes control of their life. This new identity strengthens your mindset because it gives you confidence rooted in action. It's no longer just about dreams or wishes, it's about proof from your own daily discipline. This internal confidence is what drives you forward when things get tough. To make this habit effective, choose books that speak to your current needs and challenges. It could be a book about overcoming fear, building discipline, improving relationships, or developing leadership. The important thing is that the ideas resonate with you and push you to think differently. As you read each chapter, take notes or highlight ideas that stand out. Reflect on how you can apply those lessons in your daily life. This active engagement makes reading more than passive entertainment. It becomes a tool for real change. Another advantage of reading regularly is that it opens doors to new opportunities. Knowledge gained from mindset books often leads to better conversations, new connections, and fresh ideas that can impact your career and relationships. You'll notice that your perspective on challenges shifts from being a victim of circumstances to a problem solver with options. This proactive mindset attracts success because it signals readiness and competence to others, increasing your chances of being trusted with greater responsibilities or chances to grow. Reading one chapter a day also helps break down the fear of failure. Many mindset books explain that setbacks are a normal part of progress and teach ways to respond positively when things don't go as planned. Absorbing these ideas regularly builds resilience because your mind becomes programmed to expect challenges and see them as temporary hurdles rather than permanent barriers. This steady exposure to growth-focused thinking helps you bounce back faster and keeps you moving forward no matter what. Your mind is like a garden, and reading daily mindset chapters is the act of planting seeds of success. Each chapter adds nutrients, removes weeds of doubt, and encourages the growth of new strengths. Neglecting this practice leaves your mental garden vulnerable to negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and the stress of uncertainty. But consistent reading nourishes your mind with ideas that reinforce your ability to win. Over time, these small daily actions combine into massive results, shaping your character and your future. The impact of this habit extends far beyond knowledge. It influences how you feel about yourself, your capabilities, and your potential. It transforms fear into curiosity, doubt into determination, and confusion into clarity. This mental transformation powers every decision and action, making your mind a reliable source of strength and direction. It becomes a mind that doesn't just survive challenges but thrives on them, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Making this commitment also shows respect for yourself and your goals. It's an act of discipline that says, "I'm worth investing in. My future is worth this time and effort." That kind of respect creates self-esteem, which is essential for a winning mindset. When you respect yourself, you make choices that protect your energy, prioritize your growth, and push you toward success instead of away from it. Finally, reading a chapter a day provides a consistent reminder of why you are working so hard. It keeps your goals fresh in your mind and your mindset aligned with success. This daily reminder strengthens your resolve, helps you stay focused, and reduces the chances of slipping into old, unproductive ways of thinking. It's a small, manageable step that creates a foundation for big wins, one day at a time. Number 10. Track your progress daily. Most people underestimate the incredible power of simply tracking their progress every single day. It sounds so basic, so obvious, yet this small action is the cornerstone of real growth and lasting success. Without knowing where you stand, it's impossible to measure how far you've come or to adjust your actions effectively. Too often, individuals dive into their goals with passion, but lose momentum because they fail to see evidence of progress, and that's where discouragement sets in. Daily tracking cuts through this fog by providing concrete proof of movement, no matter how small, reinforcing motivation and sharpening focus. The truth is, progress isn't always dramatic or obvious. It can be subtle, like a slight improvement in discipline, a few extra minutes of focused work, or a better response to challenges. These incremental gains, when recorded daily, become a powerful narrative that reminds you that you are moving forward inch by inch. The human brain craves feedback to stay engaged, and tracking progress feeds that craving by turning abstract goals into tangible results. It transforms vague intentions into a clear visual of effort and achievement, giving you clarity and confidence in your journey. Tracking progress also highlights patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. When you record your efforts consistently, you start to see trends: what days or times you are most productive, which habits fuel success, and which distractions derail your efforts. This awareness is crucial because it gives you the information needed to optimize your schedule, improve your habits, and eliminate roadblocks. It's not about perfection, but about learning and adapting. The data you collect through daily tracking becomes a personalized blueprint for your success. One of the harsh realities people face is losing hope when results don't show quickly. This often leads to quitting or losing enthusiasm. But tracking progress daily combats this by celebrating small wins and keeping you connected to your long-term vision. Each recorded step acts like a small victory, reminding you that success is a series of these moments strung together. This consistent acknowledgement of progress sustains motivation even when the end goal feels far away. It turns a long journey into manageable, achievable segments that maintain your momentum. Moreover, keeping track encourages accountability. When you commit to monitoring your actions daily, you create a system of responsibility that keeps procrastination at bay. It's harder to ignore your goals when you have a record staring you in the face. This accountability pushes you to maintain consistency, which is the key driver behind any successful endeavor. It's not enough to want success. You have to back it up with daily evidence of effort, and tracking progress ensures you never lose sight of that effort. Tracking also serves as a powerful tool for reflection. At the end of each day or week, reviewing your progress allows you to evaluate what worked well and what needs adjustment. This practice nurtures a growth mindset because it focuses not on failure or setbacks, but on continuous improvement. Instead of feeling stuck or defeated, you see every obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. This mindset shifts your approach from reactive to proactive, equipping you to handle challenges with resilience and creativity. An often overlooked benefit of daily progress tracking is how it boosts your confidence over time. When you see a record of your hard work and improvement, it builds an unshakable belief in your ability to succeed. This belief fuels further action and creates a positive cycle of progress and confidence. Confidence born from consistent effort is far more reliable than fleeting motivation or luck. It anchors your mindset and prepares you to face bigger challenges because you have proof that you can push through and win. It's important to track the right things. Focus on actions, habits, and milestones that directly impact your goals. Tracking every little detail can become overwhelming, so simplicity is key. Choose measurable, meaningful indicators of progress, such as time spent on tasks, number of completed steps, or quality of your work. This approach keeps your tracking manageable and focused on what truly matters. The goal is to make tracking a tool that simplifies your journey rather than complicates it. Technology makes tracking easier than ever before. There are countless apps, journals, and digital tools designed specifically to help people keep an eye on their progress without adding stress. Whether you prefer writing in a notebook or using an app, the method doesn't matter as much as the habit itself. The key is to be consistent and honest in your tracking. Honesty ensures that you face reality clearly and don't fool yourself into thinking you're doing better or worse than you are. Accurate tracking is the foundation for making smart decisions. The emotional impact of tracking progress daily cannot be overstated. It combats the natural tendency towards self-doubt and negative thinking that can derail efforts. When you face discouragement, reviewing your progress log reminds you of all the effort you've invested and how far you've come. This reflection strengthens your resolve and renews your energy to keep moving forward. It's a constant reminder that every step counts and that your dreams are within reach through steady, persistent effort. Consistency is the magic ingredient that makes progress tracking work. Skipping days or being inconsistent defeats the purpose. Just like exercising a muscle, your commitment to tracking builds mental strength over time. It trains you to be disciplined, self-aware, and proactive. This consistency creates momentum and builds habits that align perfectly with success. Without it, even the best plans and intentions can fall apart in the face of challenges. Tracking your progress daily also makes goal setting smarter. When you know where you are at all times, you can set realistic milestones and deadlines. This dynamic adjustment prevents frustration caused by unrealistic expectations and keeps you motivated with achievable targets. The process becomes fluid and adaptable, allowing you to pivot when necessary and avoid wasting time on ineffective efforts. This adaptability is essential in a fast-changing world where rigid plans often fail. Finally, tracking progress daily is an act of self-respect and commitment to your future. It demonstrates that you value your goals and yourself enough to pay attention, measure, and improve constantly. This practice fosters a deep connection to your aspirations and a disciplined mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. It transforms vague ambitions into a clear path, illuminated by daily evidence of your dedication. In this way, tracking progress isn't just a task. It's a powerful strategy that turns your dreams into reality, one day at a time. Number 11. Practice delayed gratification to strengthen mental toughness. Most people want success, but very few are willing to wait for it. They want it now. They want the results today. They want the payoff without the patience. And that's where most people fall short. You see, life doesn't hand you trophies for being impatient. It rewards the person who's willing to put in the work now and hold off the reward until later. That's the real secret. That's how you develop the kind of mind that wins every time. It's not flashy. It's not always exciting, but it's powerful, and most importantly, it works. We live in a time where comfort is everywhere. You can get food delivered to your door in minutes. You can scroll endlessly for entertainment. You can avoid discomfort at every corner. But what happens when the comfort you chase starts robbing you of your future? That's the question most people don't stop to ask. The moment you choose delayed gratification, you take full control of your future. You begin to separate yourself from the crowd. Everyone else is chasing shortcuts and instant satisfaction. But you're building strength. You're choosing what's difficult today, so life becomes easier tomorrow. That's not a punishment. That's a strategy. It's not about suffering. It's about power. You're training your brain to stay focused when your emotions want to drift. You're learning to do the right thing even when it's the harder thing. That's mental toughness, and it doesn't come from motivation, it comes from discipline. Every time you delay gratification, you train your brain to value long-term gains over short-term feelings. The world won't give you success because you want it badly. It'll give it to you when you earn it through consistent effort over time. That's where the mind starts to shift. When you stop asking, what feels good now, and start asking, what matters most later, you begin to think differently. And that difference compounds. It grows. It turns into results. Think about the person who chooses to study 1 extra hour instead of watching a show. The person who puts in an extra workout instead of skipping the gym. The person who saves money instead of spending it on things they don't need. These small choices don't seem impressive in the moment, but they change lives over time. They build discipline, confidence, and control. Most people don't quit because they're not capable. They quit because they expect things too quickly. They give up right before the breakthrough. They get tired of waiting, and they let their emotions talk them out of what they started. But that's the difference between the person who wins and the one who walks away. One is willing to hold the line, to stay patient, to outlast the discomfort. You don't need more talent. You don't need more luck. You need more grit. And that grit gets stronger every time you delay gratification and stay the course. You build a winning mind by telling yourself the truth. You admit what you want and then you do the work even when it feels hard, even when no one is watching, even when the results are slow. That's when it matters most. Anyone can start. That's easy. But finishing, that's where most people fall. You build a different kind of mind when you stick with it. You stop needing quick wins and you start craving progress. You stop needing external praise and you start trusting your own effort. That's where confidence lives, not in the results, but in the choice to keep going. You will face moments where quitting seems reasonable, where taking the shortcut feels tempting, where the comfort zone whispers to you, promising ease. But that's the moment you make the real decision. You either fall for it again or you rise above it. You either give in to the easy path or you double down on the right one. That's when the mind becomes sharper, stronger, and more focused. Every time you resist the temptation to settle for less, you create space for more growth, more progress, more power. People will look at your results later and call you lucky. They won't see the nights you chose discipline over distractions. They won't understand the self-control it took to keep pushing forward. But you'll know. You'll remember every moment where you could have taken the easier road and you chose not to. That's a powerful thing. That's what separates the top 1%, not talent, not intelligence, but consistency. Delayed gratification isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's not supposed to feel good all the time. In fact, it often won't, but that's what makes it real. That's what makes it worthwhile. You're not living to feel good in the moment. You're living to build something that lasts. And that takes time. It takes patience. It takes self-respect. Every time you make the right choice today, even when it's inconvenient, you move one step closer to the life you actually want, not the one that feels good for a moment and leaves you empty after. People often ask what the secret to success is, and the answer is usually right in front of them. Stop giving in to every urge. Stop chasing every desire the moment it appears. Learn to say no when it matters. Learn to wait when your mind says now. Learn to walk away from comfort when you know it's costing you your goals. It's not always about doing more. Sometimes it's about resisting more, saying no more, holding firm more. That's the mind that wins. It doesn't panic under pressure. It doesn't break when the rewards are delayed. It keeps showing up because it knows the reward is worth the wait. Everything changes when you build this kind of mind. You don't just hope for success, you expect it because you've done the work. You don't just wish for strength, you become it. You don't fear challenges, you face them. All of it starts with this: the ability to wait, to choose discomfort now so you can enjoy freedom later, to choose effort now so you can live with confidence later, to say no to distractions now so you can say yes to your vision later. Delayed gratification is the edge. It's what gives you the upper hand. It's not about suffering, it's about rising above the noise, above the chaos, above the average way of thinking. If you want to win every time, train your mind to wait. Train it to hold firm. Train it to focus on what matters most, not what feels good in the moment. That's the path to power. That's the mindset that wins. Every time. Number 12, create a powerful mantra and repeat it often. Most people go through their days mentally drained, emotionally pulled in every direction, and constantly reacting to life instead of driving it. They wake up, and the first thing they feel is stress. They check their phones, scroll through endless noise, and let the outside world decide how they'll feel before they even stand up. And because of that, they never take control of their minds. They let worry, fear, doubt, and pressure run their day. But the truth is, if you don't program your mind, the world will. And that's exactly why having a strong personal mantra isn't just a nice idea, it's essential. It's a tool to rewire your focus. It's a weapon you carry into battle every single day. A mantra is not magic, and it's not some fluffy phrase you whisper hoping things will get better. It reminds you of who you are, what you're capable of, and what matters most. It's your internal compass when life gets chaotic. Because life will get chaotic. You'll face hard days, you'll be misunderstood, you'll deal with failure, and your motivation will disappear. In those moments, your mantra is what pulls you back. It's what snaps you out of doubt and reminds you that you're still in control. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about fighting to stay mentally aligned with your vision when nothing else makes sense. A winning mind needs something to hold on to, something you can say to yourself when your emotions try to take over, when your old habits try to creep back in, when your insecurities start to shout louder than your purpose. Your mantra becomes the voice that cuts through all of that noise. It reminds you to stay grounded, to stay focused, to stay intentional. You could repeat it in the morning when you're walking, before you start your work, or right before you fall asleep. It becomes a rhythm, a habit, a constant reminder of the person you're becoming and the mindset you're choosing to build. You don't need to wait for perfect words. You don't need something that sounds poetic. What you need is something real, something that hits you in the chest when you say it, a phrase that wakes you up. It might be something like, "I don't quit, ever," or "I earn my confidence every day," or "I control my mind doesn't control me." The words don't have to impress anyone. They have to guide you. They have to lift you when you're low and keep you humble when you're high. That's what makes it powerful. There's something real that happens when you repeat your mantra out loud. It activates a different part of your brain. You start to hear yourself differently. It builds awareness. It builds control. You move from being lost in your thoughts to leading them. And that's where mental strength grows. That's where your mindset becomes sharper. Repeating your mantra every day builds a new pattern of thinking. It replaces hesitation with clarity. It turns confusion into direction. You're not just reacting anymore. You're choosing your response. You're setting the tone. Most people carry a voice in their head that tears them down, that criticizes them, doubts them, holds them back. They've lived with it for so long, they don't even recognize it anymore. They think it's normal, but you don't have to let that voice win. You can train a stronger voice to replace it, a voice that pushes you forward, that reminds you that you can handle more than you think, that you are capable of more than you've shown, and that process begins with a mantra. With the decision to speak to yourself with purpose instead of letting negativity take over. Every time you speak your mantra, you're taking back power. You're saying, "I decide who I am." You're choosing mental clarity over chaos. You're deciding to lead yourself instead of letting circumstances lead you. That's how confidence is built. Not in one moment, but in thousands of small ones. In every repetition of your mantra, you're reinforcing your identity. You're making it harder to drift, harder to fall, harder to be thrown off course by pressure, people, or problems. That's what separates those who rise from those who collapse under life's weight. You don't need to be perfect to start using a mantra. You just need to be honest. Ask yourself, what kind of mindset do I want to live with? What do I want to remember when things get hard? What message do I want to play in my head when the pressure hits? Build your mantra around that. Keep it simple. Keep it clear. Make it powerful. Say it like you mean it. And then say it again and again until it becomes second nature. Until you don't even have to think, you just know. You'll notice the shift. You'll catch yourself repeating it during challenges. You'll hear it echo in your mind when doubt creeps in. You'll see yourself making better decisions because your mind is locked in, and you'll realize that you're not being controlled by the chaos anymore. You're creating structure. You're staying strong when others break. Because your mind isn't scattered. It's focused. It's disciplined. It's led by purpose. The biggest battles you'll fight won't be in the world, they'll be in your mind. And you need every tool you can get to win those battles. A mantra is your mental armor. It's how you step into the world already prepared, already focused, already resilient. It's not a fancy idea. It's a practical tool. And the more often you use it, the stronger you get. Over time, it becomes more than just words. It becomes part of who you are. Don't wait for things to fall apart before you build a strong mind. Start now. Choose a phrase that means something to you. Commit to it. Repeat it until it shapes the way you think. Let it remind you that you're not average. Let it remind you that you're capable of more. Let it remind you that no matter how tough things get, you're tougher. That's the voice you need leading your life. That's the voice that wins. Every time. Number 13. Stop complaining and start taking full responsibility now. Most people don't realize how much time they lose blaming things. They point fingers at the government, their past, their parents, their boss, the economy, their genetics, their partner, everyone but themselves. They live inside a loop of frustration, always feeling like something outside of them is stopping them from making progress. And it feels comfortable because it's easier to explain away failure than to face the hard truth. But let's be honest, you cannot build a strong, winning mind while living in excuses. It doesn't matter where you started. It matters what you decide to do now. Complaining gives away power. Responsibility takes it back. Responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means everything is your move. It's the mindset of ownership. It says, no matter what happens, I choose my reaction. I choose my next step. I choose my attitude. That level of thinking doesn't come easy, especially when life hits hard. But it's the only way you grow. If you're always waiting for life to be fair before you start acting strong, you'll be stuck forever. Because life won't always be fair. That's the truth. There are people who had less than you and made more of it. Not because they were lucky, but because they refused to let blame become their comfort zone. You have to stop looking for someone to fix things for you. You have to stop waiting for the perfect conditions, the right mood, or the right timing. You'll never win that way. Success comes when you start treating your life like it's your responsibility, even the parts that weren't your fault. You take the mess, the pain, the disadvantages, and you start building from there. That's where self-respect is born. That's where personal power is developed. Not in waiting, but in doing. Not in excuses, but in action. The habit of complaining destroys progress. Every time you complain, you teach your mind that power belongs somewhere else. You build a mental pattern of weakness. You reinforce the idea that you're stuck, that life is doing something to you. And over time, your mindset becomes passive. You start settling. You stop dreaming. You make peace with less than what you're capable of. That's a slow death. That's how potential gets buried. And it all starts with those small daily complaints that seem harmless but end up shaping your entire mentality. Start listening to yourself more closely. Notice how often your thoughts go to blame. Catch yourself when you say things like, I can't, it's too hard, they won't let me, nothing ever works out for me. Those statements aren't facts. They're habits. They're learned responses. And like all habits, they can be broken. You can replace them with stronger ones. Start saying, what can I do about this? What's my next move? How can I grow from this? That shift in language creates a shift in mindset. It puts you back in the driver's seat. It makes you resourceful instead of resentful. There's real freedom in owning your situation. There's a deep sense of power in saying, this is my life. I'm in charge of what happens next. That doesn't mean things won't be difficult. It doesn't mean you won't get tired, discouraged, or scared. It means you'll keep going anyway. Because now your mindset isn't based on waiting. It's based on creating. That's a big difference. That's what separates the ones who rise from the ones who stay bitter. Responsibility is not something you take once and forget about. It's a daily practice. It shows up in your attitude, in how you start your mornings, in how you respond to setbacks, in how you treat people, especially when you're frustrated. It shows up when no one's watching, when things go wrong and you still decide to act with purpose, when you stop pointing fingers and start finding solutions. That's mental discipline. That's how winners think. Some people will try to make you feel bad for taking responsibility. They'll say you're too hard on yourself. They'll say it's not your job to fix everything. And that's true, you don't need to fix everything. But you do need to own your role in everything. Because once you do, you stop being at the mercy of your environment. You become adaptable. You learn faster. You move forward while others are still complaining about the same problems they had last year. Taking responsibility builds character. It creates trust in yourself. You start believing that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. You'll adjust, adapt, improve, and keep moving. And that kind of belief is powerful. It's the foundation of self-confidence. If you want to build a mind that wins, you need to get comfortable being brutally honest with yourself. Ask yourself, where am I blaming? Where am I avoiding ownership? Where am I letting circumstances control me instead of choosing how to respond? Then do something about it, even if it's small. Even if it's just one step. Action reinforces responsibility. It rewires your thinking. It replaces frustration with clarity. It turns victims into leaders. No one is going to hand you discipline. No one is going to install mental strength in you while you sleep. These things are built. They are earned, and they are only earned through responsibility. You'll feel the resistance at first. Your old habits will want to speak up. They'll try to convince you that it's easier to blame, that you're too tired, too unlucky, too late. Don't listen. That's not your voice. That's your weakness talking. And the only way to silence it is to act anyway. Even when you're tired, even when it's uncomfortable. That's how you change. Look around you. Most people are doing the same thing they did last year. Same routines, same excuses, same complaints. And they wonder why nothing changes. Nothing changes until you change. Nothing gets better until you get better. And you don't get better by wishing or waiting. You get better by taking control, by saying, I am responsible, I will lead, I will grow, I will not settle. Say it until you believe it. Then start living like it's true. It's not always fun. It's not always easy. But it's worth it. Because every time you take responsibility, you take a step closer to freedom. You stop being ruled by fear. You stop needing things to go perfectly. You become steady, focused, clear. You build the kind of mind that doesn't flinch when things fall apart. The kind of mind that finds a way through instead of waiting for a way out. That's how you win. Over and over again. Number 14. Visualize winning every challenge before it happens. Life has a way of testing us with challenges we did not ask for and did not expect. Many people face these challenges with fear or doubt. They wonder if they have what it takes to succeed. The truth is, most people never prepare their minds for victory before the battle even begins. They enter struggles carrying uncertainty and hesitation. This alone limits their chances of winning. But what if the mind could be trained to see success before it shows up? What if you could picture yourself overcoming every obstacle, handling every difficulty with confidence and calm? This is not magic. It is a clear practice that builds a winning mindset. Visualization is a tool used by top performers in every field. It helps the brain learn how to respond, how to stay focused, and how to trust itself under pressure. Visualization means you create a clear and detailed picture in your mind of what you want to achieve. This goes beyond a simple wish or hope. It involves imagining every step you will take, feeling the emotions of success, and experiencing the situation in your mind as if it is already real. When you do this regularly, you train your brain to believe winning is possible and even expected. This changes your attitude deeply. Instead of fearing failure, you prepare yourself to meet challenges with certainty. Your brain starts to recognize success as a familiar place, not a distant dream. Many people think visualization is just daydreaming. It is not. Visualization is active mental rehearsal. It prepares your brain for what is coming. Athletes practice their plays and moves in their heads thousands of times before the game. Musicians imagine their performance before stepping on stage. Business leaders envision their negotiations before entering the room. This mental practice makes the real moment easier to handle. It reduces anxiety and sharpens focus. When you visualize yourself winning, you create a mental map that guides your actions in reality. This makes your reactions quicker and smarter when obstacles arise. You can start by sitting quietly and closing your eyes. Picture the challenge ahead clearly. See yourself facing it calmly. Feel the confidence growing inside you. Imagine the moment of victory. Hear the sounds, see the environment, and feel the emotions of winning. Let these details fill your mind. Do this often, especially before you face a tough situation. This prepares your subconscious to work for you, not against you. Visualization also helps you stay positive in moments when doubt wants to creep in. When problems arise, your mind remembers the image of success. It reminds you of your ability to handle the situation. This keeps fear from overwhelming your thoughts. Instead of freezing or retreating, you move forward with a clear plan. This mental strength grows stronger with practice. It is like exercising a muscle that controls your confidence and determination. It is important to combine visualization with clear goals. If you do not know what you want to achieve, your mind has no direction. Set specific and realistic goals. Then visualize yourself reaching each of those goals. See the smaller wins along the way. This breaks big challenges into manageable parts. Your mind will feel less overwhelmed and more prepared. You will begin to trust the process of growth and progress. Some people struggle to believe in visualization because they only see what is in front of them. They forget that the mind shapes how the body acts. Your thoughts influence your actions more than you realize. If you tell yourself you will fail, your brain finds ways to make that happen. But if you tell yourself you will win, your brain works to find solutions and paths that lead to success. This is why mental preparation is key. Visualization programs your mind to look for opportunities, not obstacles. If you want a mind that wins every time, train it to see victory before it arrives. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means facing reality with a prepared mind. Challenges will come, but your mental state will be stronger. You will have a clearer sense of purpose and calmness. You will act with confidence rather than panic. You will make better decisions because your brain knows what winning feels like. It recognizes that the challenge is part of the journey, not the end of it. You may wonder how long it takes to see results from visualization. It depends on how consistent you are. The mind learns best through repetition. Make visualization a daily habit. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. Over time, your mindset will shift. You will find it easier to approach difficult situations with courage. You will feel less afraid of failure. Your mental toughness will improve. You will notice your focus sharpening when it matters most. Many successful people credit visualization as one of the biggest reasons for their achievements. They say it helped them stay motivated and calm. It helped them keep their eyes on the prize when distractions appeared. It gave them mental strength when physical energy was low. This same power is available to everyone. You do not need special talent or education to use visualization. You only need the willingness to practice and believe in your potential. It is natural to feel skeptical at first. The mind wants proof before it changes, but the proof will come through experience. When you face a challenge after visualizing it, you will notice a difference. You will act with more confidence. You will stay calmer. This creates a positive cycle. Your wins reinforce your belief in visualization. Your belief strengthens your actions. Your actions lead to more wins. Another important point is to focus on what you can control during visualization. Imagine your effort, your focus, your decisions. Avoid thinking about external factors that are beyond your control. It builds a mindset of control and action. This type of mental practice makes you ready to adapt to whatever comes your way. In difficult moments, visualize the feeling of success again. Bring back the emotions of pride, relief, and happiness that come with winning. Let these feelings fuel your motivation. Let them remind you why you started. Let them push you through moments of doubt and fatigue. This emotional connection is powerful. It turns visualization into more than just mental images. It becomes a source of energy that drives your actions. Visualization works because it changes how your brain sees challenges. It transforms fear into excitement. It turns obstacles into opportunities. It replaces hesitation with clarity. This is how you develop a mind that wins every time. By training yourself to see success clearly, feel it deeply, and expect it confidently, you prepare for any challenge life throws your way. Your mind becomes your greatest tool. It becomes a powerful ally on your path to victory. Number 15. Reframe every failure as a lesson for growth. Failure is one of the hardest things to face in life. Most people feel crushed and defeated when things do not go their way. They let disappointment settle in and start thinking they are not good enough or that they will never succeed. The truth is, failure is not the end. It is a crucial part of the journey toward success. The difference between those who win and those who give up is how they view failure. Winners do not see failure as a final judgment. They see it as a lesson, an opportunity to learn something new. They understand that every mistake carries information that can help them improve. The ability to reframe failure in this way is a powerful skill that shapes a strong mind. When you fail, the first feeling is usually pain. It can feel like a personal attack or proof that you are not capable. But this feeling is temporary. What lasts longer is the meaning you give to that experience. If you tell yourself that failure means you are worthless, you will sink deeper into fear and hesitation. If instead you say failure is a chance to find what does not work, your mind shifts to problem solving and growth. This shift is not automatic. It takes practice to catch negative thoughts and replace them with constructive ones. The moment you change your mindset, you begin to take control over your path. Each failure has a lesson hidden inside. It may be about what skills you need to develop, what habits to change, or what approaches to avoid. Sometimes failure shows that you aimed too high too soon or did not prepare well enough. This is valuable feedback. When you look at failure this way, it loses its power to stop you. Instead, it becomes a guide. It points you toward what to do differently next time. This mindset creates resilience. It helps you bounce back stronger instead of breaking down. One reason many people avoid failure is because they feel ashamed to admit they made mistakes. They want to look perfect or successful to others. But this need for approval can trap you in a cycle of fear. Accepting failure as a normal and useful part of growth frees you from this trap. It allows you to be honest with yourself and others. It creates space for improvement without judgment. When you embrace your failures openly, you become more authentic and courageous. People respect that. It also helps you build stronger relationships because others see your willingness to learn and grow. Reframing failure requires active effort. It means you have to ask yourself questions after every setback. What did I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? How can this experience help me improve? Writing down answers to these questions can make the process clearer. It takes negative feelings and turns them into a plan for moving forward. This habit trains your mind to focus on growth, not on blame or regret. It is also important to separate your identity from your failures. Your worth is not tied to whether you succeed or fail in a particular moment. You are valuable regardless of outcomes. Failure happens to everyone. Even the most successful people have failed many times. What sets them apart is their refusal to let failure define them. They see themselves as learners and doers. This self-view gives them confidence to try again no matter what. Failure often comes with emotions like frustration and disappointment. These feelings can cloud judgment and make it hard to see lessons clearly. Allow yourself to feel these emotions fully, but do not stay stuck in them. After the emotions settle, look at the situation with fresh eyes. This helps you see facts more clearly. It allows you to make better decisions about what to change. Another way to reframe failure is to share your experiences with others. Talking about your setbacks helps you gain perspective. You might find that others have faced similar challenges. Hearing their stories can inspire you and provide new ideas. Support from others makes failure less isolating. It also encourages a mindset that values growth over perfection. Some failures are bigger and more painful than others. These may take more time to process, but the principle remains the same. Look for what the experience teaches you. Sometimes the greatest growth comes from the hardest failures. They push you to develop strength, patience, and wisdom. Over time, these qualities build a mind that can face anything. Reframing failure also means being patient with yourself. Change does not happen overnight. Progress is often slow and filled with setbacks. Accepting this reality reduces pressure and keeps you moving forward. It reminds you that failure is a step on the path, not a dead end. When you adopt this perspective, your mindset becomes more flexible and open. When you start to see failure as a lesson, you become more willing to take risks. Risks are necessary for growth because they challenge you to stretch beyond comfort zones. Without risk, there is little chance for real progress. Knowing that failure is not final encourages you to take action even when the outcome is uncertain. This bravery is what separates winners from those who remain stuck. The mind that wins every time understands that growth is a lifelong process. It accepts failure as a teacher rather than a punishment. It turns obstacles into opportunities to learn. This mindset helps you stay motivated and confident no matter what life throws your way. It gives you the power to keep going even when success feels far away. When you fail and then choose to learn from it, you are practicing mental strength. This strength will carry you through challenges that others find overwhelming. It helps you stay calm and focused when problems arise. It keeps your vision clear and your energy high. Developing this mindset takes commitment, but the rewards are worth it. Every setback is a chance to rewrite your story. When you reframe failure as growth, you take control of that story. You become the author of your future, not a victim of circumstances. This is how a mind that wins every time is created. It is built through courage, learning, and the willingness to keep moving forward no matter what. Number 16. Focus only on what you can control today. Life is full of things that happen outside of your control. The world changes fast. Other people act in ways you cannot predict, and events unfold without asking your permission. Most people spend too much time worrying about these things. They get caught up in fears about the future or regrets about the past. This kind of thinking drains energy and creates stress. It stops progress because the mind becomes overwhelmed by factors it cannot influence. A powerful mind understands the importance of focusing only on what can be controlled right now. This focus is not about ignoring problems. It is about directing energy and attention to where it makes the biggest difference. When you do this, you increase your effectiveness and reduce unnecessary frustration. Every morning when you wake up, there are choices you have the power to make. You can decide your attitude for the day. You can decide how you will respond to challenges. You can choose what actions to take. These choices are within your control. Putting energy into them shapes your day in positive ways. Worrying about what others think or how the economy moves is a waste of mental energy. These things lie outside your control. The moment you let go of them, your mind clears and your confidence grows. This clarity allows you to take steady steps toward your goals. When focusing on control, it is important to be honest with yourself about what you can influence. Sometimes you may believe you have more control than you really do. This can lead to frustration when things do not go as planned. Being realistic about control means accepting limits without giving up. It means working hard on your effort, habits, and choices. These are all things you can control. The results may take time, but your actions set the foundation for success. People often waste time trying to control others or situations that are out of reach. This causes stress and damages relationships. When you focus on what you control, you let go of the need to fix everything or everyone. This creates peace in your mind and improves your interactions. You become less reactive and more thoughtful. Others will notice your calm and steady approach, which builds trust and respect. This mindset also helps when facing setbacks. Instead of blaming outside forces, you ask what you can do right now to improve the situation. This puts you back in charge. It shifts the focus from victimhood to empowerment. Taking responsibility for your part in any circumstance fuels growth and learning. It helps you build resilience and confidence to handle future challenges. Practicing focus on control requires daily discipline. It can help to create reminders or affirmations that reinforce this idea. Writing down your priorities for the day based on what you can control sets a clear path. Checking in regularly to assess if you are spending time and energy on things within your control helps keep you on track. This habit strengthens your mental focus and builds momentum toward your goals. This anxiety comes from the desire to avoid pain or uncertainty. Recognizing this feeling without judgment helps prevent it from taking over your thoughts. Breathing deeply and returning your attention to the present moment anchors your mind. This simple practice increases your ability to focus on control rather than worry. Over time, your nervous system learns to stay calmer in stressful situations. When you focus on what you can control, you become a better problem solver. You see challenges as puzzles to work on instead of threats. This approach opens your mind to creative solutions and new possibilities. You stop feeling stuck and start taking action. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. This cycle is what keeps winners moving forward, even when the path is difficult. Sometimes focusing on control means saying no to distractions or negative influences. It means protecting your mental space from unnecessary noise. Choosing who to listen to and what to believe is a powerful way to guard your focus. The right environment supports your mental clarity and keeps you connected to your purpose. This protective attitude helps you stay on course when faced with challenges. Your mind will naturally drift to things outside your control at times. This is normal. The key is to notice when it happens and gently bring your attention back. This practice is like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger your focus becomes. Over time, staying centered on what you control becomes second nature. This creates a mindset that wins consistently. When you take charge of what you can control today, you build trust in yourself. You see that your choices matter and that your efforts pay off. This trust fuels motivation and encourages you to keep growing. It reduces fear of the unknown because you know you are prepared to handle whatever comes. This preparation is the foundation of mental strength. Focusing only on what you control means living fully in the present. It means accepting the past without regret and facing the future without fear. Your mind becomes clear and strong. You make better decisions and take better actions. This simple but powerful habit separates those who win from those who get stuck. Every successful person knows that control starts with the self. You cannot control everything, but you can control how you think, what you do, and how you respond. These are the things that truly shape your life. Focusing on them daily builds a mind that wins every time. Number 17. Meditate daily to master your inner mental state. Most people wake up feeling scattered and overwhelmed. The mind is crowded with thoughts, worries, and distractions. This overload makes it difficult to focus or stay calm. It is common to feel restless and unsettled as the day moves forward. The noise inside the head can make even simple tasks feel exhausting. Many try to push through this feeling without addressing the root cause. The truth is that mastering your inner mental state is key to winning consistently. Meditation offers a powerful way to build this mastery. It is not about escaping reality or emptying the mind completely. Practicing meditation daily rewires your brain to handle stress better and respond with clarity. This is a skill anyone can develop with patience and discipline. Starting meditation can seem intimidating for those who have never tried it. The mind may resist sitting still because it is used to constant activity. The challenge is not to stop thoughts, but to observe them without getting pulled in. This act of watching your thoughts creates distance. It weakens the power of negative emotions and overthinking. As this habit grows, the mind becomes more stable. People who meditate daily report feeling more grounded and clear-headed. They make better decisions because their thinking is less clouded by emotion or distraction. This clarity translates into better performance in all areas of life. The real power of meditation lies in regular practice. It does not need to be long at first. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. The goal is consistency. Building this habit strengthens the mental muscles needed to remain calm during pressure. When faced with difficult situations, a practiced mind stays centered. It does not react impulsively or become overwhelmed. Instead, it approaches challenges with patience and presence. This calmness is what creates an edge over others who are easily rattled. Meditation develops this edge by training your brain to be resilient. Many successful people use meditation as part of their daily routine. It helps them manage stress and maintain focus. This is because meditation affects how the brain processes emotions. It strengthens areas responsible for attention and self-control. This scientific fact supports what wise people have known for centuries. Calm, focused minds achieve more because they conserve energy and think clearly. Meditation is not a luxury. It is a tool for survival in a busy world. Meditation also helps with emotional regulation. Strong emotions can hijack the mind and lead to poor decisions. Regular meditation builds awareness of emotional patterns. This awareness creates space between feeling and reaction. Instead of being controlled by anger or fear, a meditative mind observes these feelings. It chooses how to respond rather than reacting blindly. This control over emotions reduces conflict and increases inner peace. Over time, this creates a more balanced mental state that supports winning habits. For many, meditation becomes a source of comfort. It offers a moment each day to pause and reset. This break from constant stimulation helps recharge the mind and body. When you meditate, your nervous system shifts into a state of relaxation. This reduces anxiety and improves sleep quality. Better rest and lower anxiety lead to higher energy and sharper focus during the day. These benefits compound, making meditation a cornerstone of mental strength. Meditation can be tailored to fit any lifestyle. Some prefer guided meditation with instructions, while others choose silent practice. The key is to find a style that feels natural and enjoyable. Meditation is not about forcing stillness, but about gently returning attention again and again. This patience teaches kindness toward yourself. Instead of judging wandering thoughts, you learn to welcome them and come back to the present. This kindness improves self-esteem and reduces inner criticism. Developing a daily meditation habit is like training a muscle. At first, it might feel awkward or difficult to sit quietly. The mind will wander and distractions will arise. This is normal and expected. The difference comes with persistence. Each time you return your focus, you strengthen your mental resilience. Over weeks and months, this effort transforms your mental state. You become less reactive and more thoughtful. You find peace in uncertainty and clarity in complexity. In the beginning, setting a specific time and place for meditation helps build the routine. Morning meditation is often powerful because it sets the tone for the day. However, meditation can be practiced anytime you need calm or focus. Even a few moments before a stressful meeting or decision can make a difference. These mini-sessions help reset the mind and bring clarity to difficult moments. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to enter a calm state quickly. Meditation also improves your ability to focus on tasks. It trains the brain to resist distractions and stay on track. With regular practice, you can accomplish more in less time because your attention is sharper. This focus boosts productivity and reduces burnout. A mind that wins every time knows how to direct attention intentionally and calmly. Another benefit of meditation is greater self-awareness. It helps you understand your thoughts, emotions, and habits better. This understanding allows for meaningful change because you see what holds you back. Self-awareness also improves relationships. When you are clear and calm inside, you communicate better and listen more deeply. This connection with others supports your goals and creates a positive environment for success. Meditation is not a quick fix. It requires patience and dedication. The results are subtle at first but grow stronger over time. The true value of meditation is in creating a mind that remains steady under pressure. This steadiness is what wins challenges repeatedly. It is what allows you to act wisely, stay motivated, and keep moving forward when others quit. It means taking control of your mind rather than letting your mind control you. This choice is powerful because your mental state shapes every experience you have. When your mind is calm and focused, you see opportunities clearly and take action confidently. This mental mastery is the foundation of a mind that wins every time. Number 18. Surround yourself with people who think like winners. Most people do not realize how much the company they keep affects their mindset and success. It is easy to underestimate the power of who you choose to spend time with. Yet, the truth is clear. Your closest relationships shape your beliefs and actions more than anything else. If you surround yourself with people who complain, doubt, or settle for less, you will start to think and act the same way without even noticing it. This happens because humans are wired to adapt to their environment. The energy around you either lifts you up or pulls you down. Winning minds know this instinctively. They choose to be around those who believe in growth, take responsibility, and strive for more every day. Being with winners is not about competition or comparison. It is about creating a supportive atmosphere that encourages you to bring your best. People who think like winners see obstacles as challenges to overcome. They celebrate progress instead of waiting for perfection. When you spend time with this kind of energy, you start adopting their habits and attitudes naturally. Their focus, discipline, and optimism rub off on you. This changes how you see your own potential. You begin to believe that success is possible and within reach because you have proof all around you. It can be hard to change your circle if you have been around negative or limiting people for a long time. This change requires courage and clarity. Some relationships may resist your growth because they fear losing control or being left behind. That is a common reaction. It is important to recognize that your progress might create distance from people who do not share your vision. This is not a failure or rejection, it is a necessary step in your journey. To win consistently, your environment must support your goals. You have to be willing to let go of influences that hold you back and seek new connections that push you forward. Finding people who think like winners does not mean isolating yourself or being picky without reason. It means choosing relationships that inspire action and accountability. This can be through friends, mentors, colleagues, or even online communities. The key is to find those who are committed to improvement and who encourage you to do the same. These people challenge you to be better without tearing you down. They offer honest feedback and celebrate your wins with genuine joy. This kind of support fuels confidence and persistence. When you surround yourself with winners, your thinking changes deeply. You start to expect more from yourself because others expect it too. This expectation is powerful because it motivates you to work harder even when you feel tired or discouraged. The collective belief in success creates a momentum that is hard to stop. This momentum carries you through setbacks and keeps you focused on your goals. You no longer feel alone in your struggle because you have a team that understands and shares your vision. Winning minds also understand the value of learning from others. People who think like winners often have a wealth of experience and wisdom. By spending time with them, you gain access to this knowledge. They teach you lessons you might never discover on your own. Their stories of failure and recovery provide hope and guidance. Their advice helps you avoid common mistakes and speeds up your progress. This kind of mentorship is priceless and can transform your journey completely. It is also important to be aware of how you contribute to your circle. Being around winners means you must bring value too. This is not about perfection or having all the answers. It means being honest, supportive, and willing to grow yourself. Your attitude affects the group just as theirs affect you. When you commit to lifting others up, you strengthen your own mindset and relationships. Winning environments are built on mutual respect and shared goals. Your willingness to contribute creates trust and deepens connections. Sometimes people confuse being around winners with ignoring reality or being overly positive. That is not what winning minds do. They face problems head-on and are realistic about challenges. The difference is in how they respond to difficulties. Instead of giving up or blaming others, they look for solutions and keep moving forward. Being with winners teaches you to adopt this proactive mindset. It trains you to see setbacks as temporary and solvable. This perspective is crucial for developing a mind that wins every time. Changing your circle may also mean stepping outside your comfort zone. You might have to attend new events, join groups, or reach out to people you admire. This takes effort and vulnerability, but the payoff is enormous. You open yourself up to fresh ideas and new opportunities. You create relationships that challenge you to grow beyond your current limits. This growth is the foundation of lasting success. It is the difference between a mind that stays stuck and a mind that wins repeatedly. A winning environment also encourages honest self-reflection. People who think like winners do not hide from their weaknesses. Instead, they acknowledge them and seek ways to improve. Being around such people helps you develop the courage to face your own flaws. This honesty is essential for growth. Without it, progress becomes shallow or short-lived. The support you receive from winners makes this process less scary. You know you have a team rooting for your success, not judging your failures. At the same time, winners celebrate progress, no matter how small. They understand that success is built one step at a time. This attitude prevents burnout and keeps motivation alive. When you are surrounded by this mindset, you learn to appreciate your own journey more. You develop patience and persistence. You realize that winning is not about one big moment, but about consistent effort. This shift in perspective makes challenges easier to face and victories more meaningful. Ultimately, surrounding yourself with people who think like winners changes your life. It affects your mindset, habits, and results. It transforms how you see yourself and your possibilities. You become more confident, focused, and resilient. You build a mental environment where success is natural and expected. This environment supports every part of your journey. It is one of the most powerful tools you can use to develop a mind that wins every time. Number 19. Practice gratitude daily. It is easy to get caught up in what is missing or what is going wrong in life. Many people spend too much time focusing on problems and not enough on what they already have. This habit creates frustration and a negative mindset. Practicing gratitude every day changes this pattern completely. Gratitude means recognizing and appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small they may seem. When you start to notice what you have instead of what you lack, your mind shifts toward positivity. This shift improves your mood and increases your motivation to keep moving forward. Starting a daily gratitude practice does not require much time or effort. You can simply take a few minutes each morning or evening to think about or write down things you are thankful for. These can be basic things like having a roof over your head, food to eat, or people who care about you. You can also include achievements, personal strengths, or moments of joy. The key is to be sincere and specific. The more details you include, the stronger the effect on your brain. This small habit rewires your thoughts to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude helps reduce stress and anxiety. When you focus on positive aspects of life, your brain produces chemicals that calm you down and increase happiness. This is why people who practice gratitude regularly tend to feel more peaceful and content. It also improves your ability to handle challenges because you have a more balanced view of your situation. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you can see that good things still exist even during tough times. This perspective builds resilience and hope, which are essential for winning minds. Another powerful effect of gratitude is that it strengthens relationships. When you express appreciation for the people around you, it deepens your connection with them. Saying thank you or acknowledging someone's kindness creates trust and warmth. This encourages others to continue supporting you and builds a positive environment. Relationships based on gratitude are more stable and fulfilling. They provide a strong support system that helps you stay focused on your goals. This social support is critical for long-term success. Gratitude also encourages humility and reduces envy. When you practice being thankful for what you have, you stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison often leads to feelings of jealousy or inadequacy. These feelings drain your energy and distract you from your own path. Gratitude keeps you grounded and focused on your unique journey. It reminds you that everyone has struggles and blessings. This mindset creates peace of mind and allows you to celebrate others' successes without feeling threatened. Many successful people credit gratitude as a secret to their achievements. They understand that being thankful keeps them motivated and connected to their purpose. Gratitude gives meaning to their efforts by reminding them why they work hard in the first place. It also keeps their egos in check and helps them stay humble. This humility opens the door for continuous learning and growth. Without gratitude, success can feel hollow or unsatisfying. With it, every step forward feels rewarding and meaningful. It is important to practice gratitude even when life is difficult. The hardest times often teach us the most valuable lessons. By finding something to be thankful for during struggles, you create a mental anchor that prevents despair. It means choosing to see light even in darkness. This choice strengthens your mind and prepares you to overcome obstacles. Gratitude fuels perseverance and gives you the strength to keep trying. You can make gratitude a natural part of your daily routine by using reminders. Some people keep a journal, others use phone apps, and some say gratitude prayers or affirmations. The method does not matter as much as consistency. Over time, gratitude becomes a habit that influences your entire mindset. You start to notice positive things automatically without forcing yourself. This natural positivity changes how you experience life and how others respond to you. It is a simple but powerful way to develop a mind that wins every time. Remember, practicing gratitude is not about luck or waiting for perfect circumstances. It is a choice you make every day. No matter your situation, you have reasons to be thankful. Focusing on these reasons empowers you to take control of your emotions and thoughts. This control is essential for building confidence and focus. When your mind is filled with gratitude, negative thoughts lose their power. You gain clarity and energy to pursue your goals relentlessly. In conclusion, daily gratitude practice transforms your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. It improves your emotional health, strengthens relationships, and builds resilience. Gratitude helps you stay humble, motivated, and connected to your purpose. This simple habit is one of the most effective tools for creating a mind that wins every time. Start today by noticing and appreciating the good around you. Keep this practice consistent and watch how your life and mindset change for the better. Number 20. Stay physically active to boost mental strength. Most people experience days when their energy feels drained and their motivation is low. It is normal to feel stuck or mentally exhausted from time to time. The connection between physical movement and mental health is often overlooked. Staying physically active plays a crucial role in developing a mind that wins consistently. Exercise stimulates the brain by increasing blood flow and releasing chemicals that improve mood and focus. When the body moves, the mind becomes sharper and more resilient. This relationship is backed by extensive research showing that physical activity enhances cognitive function and reduces stress. Engaging in regular exercise does not mean you have to spend hours in the gym. Simple activities like walking, stretching, or cycling can make a significant difference. The key is to find something you enjoy and make it a habit. Movement breaks the cycle of negative thinking and tiredness by activating the nervous system. This activation helps clear mental fog and boosts creativity. Many people report feeling more energized and positive after even a short session of physical activity. This immediate feedback motivates them to continue making exercise a part of their daily routine. Physical activity also helps regulate sleep patterns, which are essential for mental clarity. Poor sleep contributes to irritability, lack of focus, and emotional instability. Regular movement promotes better quality sleep by balancing hormones that control rest and alertness. When you sleep well, your brain processes information better and repairs itself. This restoration supports learning, memory, and emotional balance. Without enough sleep, even the strongest mind can falter. Exercise acts as a natural sleep aid that reinforces the foundation for mental strength. Exercise reduces levels of stress hormones while increasing endorphins, the brain's natural mood elevators. These chemical changes create a sense of calm and happiness. When stress levels drop, you are less likely to feel overwhelmed by challenges. This calm state improves decision-making and problem-solving skills. Many people find that regular physical activity helps them handle pressure with greater ease. It trains the mind to remain composed under stress, which is vital for winning any mental battle. Physical fitness and mental toughness develop hand in hand through consistent movement. In addition to mental benefits, staying active improves physical health and stamina. A healthy body supports a healthy mind by providing the energy needed to pursue goals. Physical ailments and fatigue can drain motivation and focus. By maintaining fitness, you prevent these obstacles from slowing you down. Strong muscles and cardiovascular health increase your endurance during long workdays or intense tasks. This stamina allows you to stay productive and engaged without burning out. Physical activity creates a feedback loop where a better body fuels a better mind. It is important to approach physical activity with a mindset of self-care rather than punishment. Many people avoid exercise because they see it as a chore or a way to fix problems. Instead, view movement as a gift you give yourself. This positive perspective makes it easier to stay consistent and enjoy the process. Listen to your body and choose activities that fit your current level of fitness. Over time, your strength and abilities will grow naturally. Celebrating small improvements boosts confidence and reinforces the habit. Physical activity also offers social benefits that enhance mental well-being. Group exercises, sports, or classes create opportunities for connection and support. Being part of a community encourages accountability and makes movement more enjoyable. Positive social interactions reduce feelings of loneliness and increase feelings of belonging. These feelings contribute to emotional resilience and a positive outlook on life. When you combine physical activity with social engagement, you multiply its impact on your mind's strength. Even during busy or stressful times, making time for movement is crucial. Many people believe they do not have time for exercise, but short bursts of activity can be effective. A quick walk during a break or simple stretches at your desk can refresh your mind. These small actions break monotony and recharge your focus. Prioritizing physical activity sends a message to your brain that you value your health and well-being. This message reinforces your commitment to cultivating a winning mindset. It is common to face setbacks in physical activity routines, such as injury or lack of motivation. When these happen, it is important to be patient and adapt your approach. Rest and recovery are essential parts of any fitness plan. Taking care of your body allows you to return stronger and more determined. Mental strength grows from overcoming challenges and staying consistent despite difficulties. In conclusion, staying physically active is a foundational practice for developing mental strength. Movement enhances brain function, improves mood, and reduces stress. It supports restful sleep and increases physical stamina, which fuels productivity. Approaching exercise as self-care and embracing social opportunities amplifies these benefits. Regular physical activity trains your mind to stay sharp, calm, and resilient. Start with small steps today and make movement a natural part of your life. This habit will strengthen your mind and body, helping you win every mental challenge you face.